All right. Hello, everybody. We are back for our Wind Down Wednesday. This is Dr. B. I'm here with Custom Made Weight Loss. We're celebrating our first year anniversary, and I have a special guest with me. She is Lauren Jones. She's partnering with our company. She's a mental health and wellness expert, a licensed clinical social worker, and she'll be partnering with us as we go through, as you can see on the left upper corner, our 20-pound weight loss. She'll be part of Mindful Moments during the 20 pounds in 12 weeks challenge beginning May 13th. So today I've got Lauren in the hot seat because she's going to be wearing two hats. The first hat, she was actually one of our patients and she still is working with us. And then her second hat is her being a partner and going to be teaming with us as we go through our 12 weeks 20-pound challenge in a few weeks. So we have her in the hot seat. We're going to go through, we're going to pick her brain on some mental health issues, but we're also going to walk through her story and dig into some of the success she's had since being with our program. So no further ado, welcome Lauren. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, and happy 1-year anniversary to you and Custom Made Weight Loss.
Thank you. It's still hard to believe that we were able to make it through this year. We're feeling truly blessed. So we've been doing a little bit of what we like to call an icebreaker as we're still facing, I think we're into the third month of this corona crisis. And all of us are still struggling, trying to get our bearings. We're ready to get outside. It was really nice today. I did go out. I got my walk in, and there were a lot of folks out there getting some fresh air, which we definitely need. But tell me what you've been doing in terms of your self-care regimen while we're all trapped in the house.
So my self-care regimen has really been trying to work on interior design work. I've been noticing that doing design pieces and finding fun, innovative ways to refresh my space has been self-care for me. So HGTV is life. So watching that and then finding images on my phone and then finding sales and then remixing a lot of pieces in my home or even creating pieces in my space from woodworking to painting. So I've been designing my rooms.
Okay. I think I do remember seeing, I was able to come over once and I saw some really, really nice decorative pieces that you had there. Very creative. It seemed like you're really good with your hands. Now, so you're shopping. Are you shopping for your own home? Are you shopping for pieces for the creative type stuff?
So right now I actually have some interior design clients. Yes, so I'm shopping for them, but I'm always shopping for me too. I have a bunch of things in my wish list and in my cart. So I'm constantly shopping for me, but right now I have 2 design clients that I'm shopping for right now. And thanks to COVID-19, of course, right now we're thinking about COVID-19 in a negative light, but that's benefiting my clients is that there's a lot of sales going on, a lot of furniture sales. There's a lot of stores that are trying to get customers to come in or to buy their items. So my clients are really benefiting financially from COVID-19. So now is the time to remix.
I know I've heard that sales have definitely gone up with all of the online shopping since most of the stores are closed and you can't get anything. You can't go out and shop. So I think everybody has been shopping. Yes. So anyway, don't break the bank, girl.
I know.
So the last 2 days, I say my self-care is that continues to evolve. The last couple of days, I had these head wraps in because I was still going through my transformation. So now you can see I was able to do and yes, I did do this. I didn't go out and get my hair done or anything, even though now in the state of Maryland, they are allowing us essential employees to go out and get our hair done. But yeah, I put these in myself. I'm proud of myself. I didn't realize the hair was going to be so long, but nevertheless, it's finished. I'm done with this. And now I don't have to wear my head wraps anymore. So I'm feeling a little free. But it was fun wearing the wraps. So anyways, let's get down and dirty. Let's get into it. You have been a patient of ours, I want to say about 5 months now, and you have been making some serious strides. Tell us a little bit about your story. What brought you to a place where you wanted to just start losing weight?
Oh my gosh. I don't know if there's ever been a time where I didn't want to lose weight. If I'm being honest, I feel like my entire life has always been on a weight loss journey, and I have just been hopping from one place to the next, whether it be a fad or a trend or a agency or an organization, just trying to find something that would work. And it might work maybe for a short period of time, but there would not be any longevity or any transformational change that would keep me motivated to stay with the organization or the company or the system or the solution. So there would definitely be some type of cycle of like, oh my gosh, what's the point? Why am I doing this?
Mm-hmm.
Give up and feel super defeated. So I feel like that's my whole entire life story of wanting to lose weight and then trying something and then not being able to be consistent and then feeling super defeated and then putting on more weight and that defeat. And it started at a very young age, although I was extremely active. I was in martial arts, I was in swimming, I was in basketball, I was in track and field, I was in dance, I was on the flag team, but I would still put on an exuberant amount of weight. And my mom would take me to pediatricians, take me to doctors, and they would always just say, "Oh, I'm sure whenever she starts her cycle, hormones, I guess,
Puberty. Uh-huh.
puberty would kick in and everything would be normal." But that just didn't happen.
So it
So,
sounds like you were dealing with this even in your young years, like 8, 9, 10 years old
mhm.
when it started for you? Okay. So I had to take a step back because what we didn't do was post your picture so people can get a good idea of where you were before and where you are now. So as you can see, I know we're hiding behind here, but this is a picture on the left hand side. It might be my left, your right, or you can see where Lauren was before she came in, when she came into our weight loss practice. I want to say, Lauren, you're going to have to help me out. Do you remember what you weighed when you first started?
Oh my gosh, I want to say close to 280.
Okay. So you came in at 280, and I know we're still moving forward. We're still making strides, but you can see this before and after picture. And then where are we now? I know we've got a weigh-in coming up next week.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, factor in quarantine snacking. So right now, I want to say I'm toggling back and forth, but probably high 230s,
Okay.
240, 37, 239,
Right.
something like
Yeah, so basically over the last several months that you've been working with us, you have definitely made some huge strides, and we're so proud of you. 40 pounds plus that you have lost, and we are still trucking. And I think you've said that this is probably the most successful you've been able to get in
that. Oh,
terms
yeah.
of your weight loss since trying this. And our goal, as you continue to work with us, is to have you lose this weight and to keep it off. But I
Mhm.
tell everybody that this is a lifelong struggle. This is a lifelong commitment where, in order to keep the weight off, whatever you're doing to lose the weight is the same thing you have to do to keep the weight off. So kudos to you. I'm so proud. I'm so proud of you and your success. And I will continue to work with you as we, continue to get you towards your goal. What is your goal weight, by the way?
In a perfect world, far, far away, I would like to say my goal weight would be, 180, 175. My driver's license weight is 175.
All
So,
right. And that was how long ago? Or for what year was that? How old were you then?
oh, I don't know if I was ever 170. I
Oh,
don't know.
so you just gave them that number, but you
Middle school, high school, I don't know. I feel like
wait
that
a
was
minute. Okay. All right. Well, we're going to keep moving forward, and we'll touch base with everybody, in the next few weeks, because you're going to be a part of this 20. You'll be one of our facilitators, but also going through this program with us. So we're going to continue to make progress and strides for it. So here's another question for you. The question was really about what struggles did you face during your weight loss phase? So since you've been going through this program now, what are some of the struggles that you've been facing and dealing with? And you just threw one out about the snacking with the COVID, but yeah, stuff like that. Tell us a little bit more about what struggles you're facing, because I know a lot of folks do face the same issues as you do. Okay. So I forgot, y'all. We celebrating this. It's Wind Down Wednesdays, and it's okay to celebrate a little bit. So we're not too hardcore where we say you can't have a celebration. We're celebrating Wednesday. We're celebrating our anniversary, and Lauren is confessing that her problem is she likes to turn it up, and this is where I have to work with her on all the time about the turning it up. Because every time I ask, okay, Lauren, what's up? Well, I'm going to this social event and I'm going to this party. I'm going to this homecoming. I'm putting all your business out there. But anyways, tell us more about the struggle.
This is now my struggle. I have two struggles. One is the turn up, because I am a socialite and I feel like there are beverages everywhere you go, whether it's parties or festivities or going out. And then my second are the oh so scrumptious sweets. I love sweets. I'm a decadent person. I'm team brownies, team donuts, team cupcakes. I have a ferocious sweet tooth. So making the radical transition from reducing alcohol consumption and reducing sweets is just like, it's shocking my system physically and emotionally. So those have been extremely difficult things for me.
And I will say, I know so many of us have those same issues with the cravings, with our guilty pleasures, with things that we struggle with in terms of food. And that's what we walk you through in terms of how do we get through the social eating, the social gathering, the cookouts, all of those festivals and things that we have that entice and encourage us to eat. And so we walk you through how to troubleshoot. We call it problem solving and coming up with strategic ways not to overeat and not to overindulge. So I'm glad this is a process. Just imagine you've been doing this for the last umpteenth years. It's not something that's going to change overnight. It's iteration after iteration. You might fall, you get back up, you fall, you get back up. And of course, you have someone like me to offer you my support and encouragement so that you continue pressing towards the mark. Okay, so was there anything that, since you've been going through this program with us, that has made this weight loss phase that you're going through a little easier? Because we do have you, kind of on calorie restrictions, special guidelines for the types of foods that you should be eating. Anything help you with that?
I would say probably some of the easy things would be the consultations, the individualized consultations, I would say, because I've been a part of programs that did the group meetings and whatnot. No shade on them, but I like the individual one-on-one meetings where it's just me and I'm pouring my heart out and I'm not having to listen to everybody else. And it's a very individualized session. So I really appreciate that. And it's a place where you can be held accountable as well. I think that's really important as far as your weight loss journey as well, because I've also tried to lose weight where I'm holding myself accountable, but I'm also, while I'm holding myself accountable, I'm also saying, you know what, it's okay. You had a rough day. That's that brownie. It's going to be all right. So I didn't really do a really great job of holding myself accountable. But if I know I have a Thursday meeting with Dr. B and I have to step on that scale in her office, I'm like, oh my God. Okay, now I need to get my life together.
Yeah, that accountability really does play a significant role in the weight loss. It's just like easy, like you said, it's easy for us to make excuses for ourselves, but knowing that there's someone else that's there encouraging you and wanting you to do well, I think it gives you a little bit of an extra motivation. And then we also do work on making goals, every time you come in, we're setting goals on what are we trying to accomplish in the next couple of weeks. I know we have you on some appetite suppressants. Were those helpful at all in terms of helping you with controlling cravings and your appetite at all?
So first let me put out a disclaimer and say I was hesitant. Well, I have to put out disclaimers. One, because I want to be transparent, and two, because I'm coming on the mental health and emotional wellness side. So I want to talk about how our mental and emotional health is connected to our, our weight loss story. So I do want to say there was some mental and emotional roadblocks and barriers that I struggled with personally as far as appetite suppressants before I even started taking them, because I was kind of like, well, I don't really eat much anyway, as far as portion sizes and the amount of food I consumed. So I kind of already went in and was like, that's not really for me. I don't really need that type of thing. And I had that type of posture. So I was definitely limiting myself as far as what type of support I was being open to receiving. So once I was able to work through that and be willing to try all of the different options that Dr. B provided for me, and I was being open to learning about what appetite suppressant truly meant. And it really might not have necessarily meant the managing the appetite piece, but using it more so about the craving piece, because that was a big barrier for me because I did crave a lot of sweets. So by starting to take appetite suppressants that helped me with my cravings, that was a life-changing experience for me. And yes, they did work in tandem. And there were times when I was like, oh my gosh, okay, I need to eat something because I don't remember the last time I ate, but I was also able to drive past a lot of very tempting traditional stops for me after a rough day's work without really giving it much of a thought, because it didn't spark that, like, oh my gosh, I'm exhausted, I'm stressed. Let me insert whatever my traditional coping strategy was as far as food, because that appetite suppressant and that craving suppressant was just kind of there to assist me with those tough times. So I was able to insert a healthier coping strategy. So I would say that I think that introducing those into my treatment plan was really beneficial.
That's good to hear. I know there's definitely a lot of hesitance when people hear about appetite suppressants. One of the most popular and the common ones that people talk about is Phentermine. And we do utilize that in our office. We utilize quite a few others. We have some natural appetite suppressants. People may have heard of Castimia, may have heard of Contrave, Saxenda. There's a lot of medications that we do use. And there's a reason behind it because, like Lauren said, we really do try. So it's not all about willpower, because if you're constantly trying to have willpower to get past those cravings and to get past those hurdles, it's really difficult. And then the medications help to just take that component off, so you can really focus on some of the other things that come along with getting to a healthy weight, which is the behavior modifications, which is obviously eating healthy, getting out, doing some type of movement and physical activity. And so when you take that barrier with the mental component of it, and also some of those hormones that are going crazy as you're losing the weight, it makes it a lot easier for you. So I'm glad to hear that. And then we definitely, as medical professionals, pay very close attention to any potential side effects that some of the medications can have. But for me, I would love my patients not to be on any medications. But if I had to make a choice of you having to be on diabetes medication, blood pressure medications, insulin, cholesterol medications, if I had to make a choice, I would much rather you be on one medication to help control the weight than 5 medications to help control all of those other issues that come as a result, oftentimes because of the weight. So that's why I always put a plug in for that. But it's not the only way. It's not the only option. We do have those the natural appetite suppressants too. But I'm so glad that you were willing to give that a chance, and that it's worked well for you, and you're having some great success. All right, here's a few more questions, and we'll try and wrap this up. Did you find yourself before you? I know women all over the place, we deal with body image issues. While you were going through, the weight thing, did you find yourself having to deal with body image and self-esteem issues, as a result of the weight?
Mm-hmm. I was going to say, that can't be the real question.
You never know, because I mean, I'm looking at Lizzo. Lizzo, I love her with all my heart, and she's very confident. She's moving, she's doing things. You have Monique, so there's, you never know what people's. Even me, we all have issues. So I'm just, it's always nice to hear what other people's experiences are, because it empowers people who may be struggling or dealing with things, to just encourage them.
Oh my gosh, yes. So, yeah, I feel like I've experienced challenges with self-esteem and body image forever, but that's because I've also been experiencing weight challenges forever too. So, through my organization, Propel Production Center, I actually developed a program called Beautiful Like Me, where I was able to work through a lot of body positive things and then pass on that information to other girls. And we talked about society's image of beauty and how they drill the beauty standard into our mind, but how we can kind of break that box and shatter that glass ceiling. But that requires a lot of, introspection and reflection. So, yes, I did struggle with that. And oftentimes I have to reteach myself and remind myself that, you know what? No, I'm not beautiful like insert whoever name I decide to try to compare myself to. No, I'm not beautiful like them, but I am beautiful like me. And I need to figure out who I am, regardless of what my body shape looks like at that given day, because it's been changing, and walk in my authentic self. So I've been having a lot of fun lately trying to figure out who exactly that is. But that to answer your question, yes. Yeah.
I'm glad. I appreciate your candidness. And this is something that we'll definitely be digging deep in when we go through this 20-pound, 12-week challenge. I'm going to stop and put a plug in now. So folks, as we've been mentioning throughout the time that we've had this conversation with Lauren, we are getting ready for our 20-pound weight loss challenge. We're trying to get y'all to lose 20 pounds in 12 weeks. If that is your goal, we are going to be offering a virtual group weight loss coaching session. The date that it's coming up, the first one will be May 13th, is the kickoff date for that. So I know all of us are dealing with the corona cry. Okay, I know you see my roommate back here sliding, trying to be real slide. I don't know if you see this little body. Yes, I think they saw all of that's okay. Anyway, so we want to put that out there. If you want to be a part of this weight loss challenge, we love to have you on board. We're going to have Lauren, our mental health expert, helping us bring our mind into this, because we can't separate our mind from our bodies. It pretty much starts with our mind. If we don't have that all together, pretty much nothing else is going to work. We're going to have live cooking sessions. We have a sous chef. We have a pastry chef that's going to teach us how to cook healthy. We're going to have our own ingredients in our houses, and we'll be walking through it with them live. We'll have a nutrition consult. We'll have fitness trainers. Of course, I'll be there. And we're going to have a bunch of fun supporting each other and getting each other through this challenges. If anybody's been struggling with putting on weight for the 20 pounds, because winter is coming. Excuse me, not winter, but summer is coming. Just like Game of Thrones, winter is coming. Well, we know that summer is coming, and we need to have our beach bodies. We need to have our little hottie shorts on. We want to have our cute sundresses. We want to have our chest hanging out. And so we don't want to have a gut. And so this is the time now to do our reset. We've got the time to focus on our own health and wellness. All right. Thank you so much, Lauren. I have a few more questions and we'll wrap this up. What recommendations would you give to someone who may be considering a weight loss program?
Okay. So I guess I would have to ask them, what are your needs? So what are you struggling with aside from the weight? Because you can get assistance with weight, I'm sure, with every weight loss program. So genuinely asking with what the barriers are. So is it individualized consultations or attention? Is it just pure knowledge and information or access to resources? What is it, do you think, that you're really genuinely struggling with regarding weight loss? I would ask them, who's in your support system, or who do you need in your support system to be successful, or what do you need to create a successful support system within your life? What have been your current barriers? Or is this your first time? So just kind of thinking through those, and also what's motivating you. Are there health reasons? You mentioned the body image thing. Is it societal pressures? Is it deeper than that? Is it some things about self-esteem or self-worth? So what are your intrinsic motivations? And having an honest and open conversation about that. And have some see if you can have some consultations before you jump in, and also not chase fads. So there's been a point in time that I've gone from fad to fad to fad to fad, and that's one, it's not healthy, and two, there's really no it thing to lose weight. So seek consultations from experts and professionals within that field, and just kind of have an open conversation about what your needs are and what your interests are, and go from there. But it really kind of starts with understanding the why. So why do you feel like you need to lose the weight? What's motivating you? Who's in your support system? Because having a support system is going to be extremely important. And also, to the mental health side form, change begins with the mind. So you, of course, can have all of this knowledge and access to resources and the best weight loss solution in the world, but there is raw emotional connections to food. So just understanding why you eat, understanding what gravitates you to particular foods, and having a better understanding of that, so you can unlearn and relearn healthier coping strategies, and asking yourself what the triggers are. So there's a lot of mental health and emotional wellness components too. So maybe even seeking a mental health
I
professional.
love it. And that's why we are so glad that you are going to be on board with us as we go through this 20-pound weight loss challenge, because it really is much more complex. I continue to tell people this. We don't want you beating yourself up if you do fall
Mhm.
short and you aren't able to lose the weight, or you lose the weight and you put it back on. It's much, much more complicated than if you just go out and exercise and you stop eating so much, then you'd lose the weight. There are mental and emotional components to this. There are societal components to this. There are hormonal components that causes weight gain. Our metabolism changes as we get older. There could be diseases like hypothyroidism or other things that are going on within your body that could be causing it. So it's much more complicated than just eating right, although that is important, and exercise. Because if that was the case, many of us are trying to do our best to eat right, and many of us are trying to go out there and exercise, and we're still struggling with it. And so
Mhm.
I always like to put that out there, that don't beat yourself up if you are struggling with it. Don't be afraid to go out and get help if you're struggling with it, because the support really is an invaluable component of this. So I'm just going to put that back out there again for anyone who may be interested. We would love to have you. We would love to support you and help you reach your weight loss goals. Once again, we have this 20-pound in 12 weeks weight loss challenge coming up May 13th. We have our texter where you can text us if you would like to be a part of it, and you'll get some information. If for whatever reason, when you send the text and you don't get a response back from us, you can also shoot us an email at info@cmweightloss.com, or even visit our website to learn more about it. So let's see, we can wrap this up here, Lauren. I would say, I know you gave us some wonderful, you touched a little bit on the mental health component of it, but I guess from the personal perspective, if there are any other tips and pointers for folks who are going through difficulties with this COVID crisis, and having that emotional eating, and stressed and scared and anxious and just not sure how to manage from the mental side, the mental health side of it, what would you offer? What words of advice would you offer to them?
Oh gosh. Okay. I just had so many different thoughts flooding my mind.
Give us your top three as we wrap it up.
Okay. Top 3 things. First thing, one, it's totally normal to gravitate towards food when you're experiencing any type of stress or anxiety or frustration of any kind. Because, like I said earlier, there are emotional connections to food. So, the fact that you're doing that right now, I don't want you to add any type of guilt or shame associated with that. So, if you're doing that, it's okay. I'm doing it. Dr. B's probably doing it.
Not
Um,
me.
um, so it's okay. However, I do want to give you a couple of tips that will help reduce the amount of times you do that. And we'll talk about it during our series that hopefully will crank out in a little while. But one of them is just kind of creating systems in place around your house. So one of them is a fail-safe system. So for example, if you know that whenever you get stressed, you eat salty things, I want you to incorporate a system where you have to do something prior to you eating that salty thing. So, for example, if you know you're experiencing stress and you're walking to that pantry before you grab those chips, you need to do some squats or you need to clean the bathroom, some type of physical activity before you get those salty chips. And by the time you finish that physical activity, you may eat those chips and that's fine. Or you may not eat those chips because after you did the physical activity, you may not want to. So just slowly incorporate some physical movements in between your emotion and then satisfying that desire. The second thing I'll say is to start really thinking through the emotions that you're feeling prior to you eating, because there are some emotions connected to food. And if you can isolate what that emotion is, you can begin filtering in healthier alternatives than eating. So why are you eating? You know, asking yourself that, am I eating because I'm bored? Okay, that's okay. What are some alternative activities that you can do while you're bored? Or am I eating because I'm sad? Okay. What are some other things that we can do instead when you're sad? So, but that really requires some mindfulness and some reflection. So, those are some tips that you can
I
do.
like it. I like it. And that's what this is all about, changing our unhealthy behaviors for healthier behaviors. And it takes some time before they can become habits. But the more that we do them, the better that we'll get. So I appreciate your time. I want to just put back up one more time the success that you had, the picture that shows your before and your now. I know we still have some ways to go, but Lauren, I want to send my congratulations to you. Once again, I think the first picture on the left-hand side, you're at 280 calories. And now on this right, 280 calories, 280 pounds. And now here on the right side, she is at just under 240. I think she's around 238 pounds. You can see that confidence. She's got her hands on the hips before and after, but you can see that Lauren is making moves. And we're so excited and so happy for you. And we'll have another picture that we'll put up after our 20-pound challenge so we can see where you are. Yes, you're in the hot seat. So now you got even more pressure. We got you on Facebook and we're saying that we're still going to keep making gains to that 185, that 190 that we're trying to get to. So congratulations now for the progress and the success you've made. Don't let the Corona crisis take you off your goal. Continue to press towards the mark. Take this one last swig of this, because I'm over here having mine too. You know, everything in moderation. I like to say everything in moderation. But in the meantime, once again, we'll just put this plug out for anybody who may be interested in being a part of it. Join us for our 20-pound in 12 weeks weight loss challenge. You can text us at that info, text us below, or you can send an info to the email to our webpage or the email address below. And thank you so much for tuning in. We're excited to continue pressing towards the mark in terms of our success with our business and our 1-year anniversary as we wind down this Wednesday with our special guest, Lauren Jones. We'll tune in again. We'll be back next week just to talk and celebrate some of the success from some of our other patients, which I love to show and celebrate and let you know about some other people who are just knocking it out of water for their success too. So thanks so much, everybody, for tuning in. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear those face masks, and of course, stay home. All right. God bless.
Bye.
Okay. I think we're done.